Hi, I'm George Ellis, and today I'm going to show you how you can use simple measures to make your projects and initiatives more successful. And you're going to grow leadership ability within teams, you're going to increase the engagement of the entire team, and you're going to save a ton of time. Let's start by understanding what problem we're trying to solve. Key performance indicators, or KPIs, should be one or two aligned metrics that the team can use to manage work, like keeping a project on track or a revenue initiative on target to achieve the revenue. But too often, people stack one measure upon another. And when there are many KPIs, the team can take actions that turn one KPI red and another green. For example, if our project is running late, we could hire some help, maybe find a consultant that could take some of the load off and speed the project up. That might turn the schedule green, but the budget red. These competing KPIs are confusing, and that usually leads to an action. A large set of KPIs can turn into a complex mathematical equation with no path to success. What's the point of these KPIs if they don't guide the team on what they need to do? Let's take a look at something from everyday life that illustrates how simple controls can be used to manage a complex process: driving. The controls on a car are fundamentally simple. If our KPIs for driving are, say, staying within the speed limit and staying in our lane, consider how simple the steering wheel and the pedals are to control our vehicle to do those things. To speed up, we press the gas pedal, and to slow down, we tap the brakes. To turn to the right, we move the steering wheel clockwise, and to the left, we move it counterclockwise. None of this is to say that driving is simple. Just the opposite. There are many things to consider while you're driving. Is the car roadworthy? Is my license good? Do I have insurance? These are not KPIs. They are not the critical one or two things I use to control the car. Nobody checks their insurance status as frequently as they check their speedometer. But when we lump many project measures into a complex set of KPIs, we're doing almost the same thing. Returning to projects and initiatives, how do you pick the one or two KPIs that will let the team control the initiative or project to the maximum extent possible? For this, we turn to Eli Goldratt and his concept of the bottleneck constraint. Different types of initiatives and projects have different bottlenecks. For a sales initiative, the bottleneck will usually be revenue. For a typical project, schedule will be the bottleneck. And for an initiative to improve quality, the bottleneck will probably be a measure of defects. So, for your KPIs, find the bottleneck and pick one leading and one lagging indicator to form the team's KPIs. The example that we've been using here is a sales initiative, so let's use revenue as our bottleneck. Maybe we use total revenue as the primary KPI, but that's a lagging indicator. It's very important, but it's slow to react to our countermeasures. So we can complement total revenue with a leading indicator like revenue at a handful of key accounts that are likely to drive total revenue over time. Now our KPIs will guide us to find problems quickly. If we collect data, the KPIs will be aligned. The leading and lagging indicators are just different views of the same bottleneck. Now, having a KPI doesn't make managing the initiative easy. We'll have to dig into our data to find out if the problem with revenue is because of an issue with the product, or because of marketing collateral, or maybe there's a gap in our selling process. And after we get to root cause, then we'll need to create and deploy countermeasures. None of this is easy. But remember our initial set of KPIs and how they created a mathematical exercise, but it didn't give the team much guidance on what they needed to do on a daily basis? Now our simple KPIs will accelerate the team moving to problem solving, and they can spend their energy dealing with the problems that are stopping us from achieving revenue. And this gets us to the why of simple KPIs. They change behavior by pushing decisions down one level in the organization. With well-crafted simple KPIs, our teams become more autonomous. And for most of the new issues that come up, the team can probably make the decision on their own, or at least they can create what they think is a solution to present that to their manager to start the conversation. This is so much faster than just taking data like red KPIs to a manager and asking what to do. And it promotes ownership within the team. And by providing autonomy for the team, engagement increases. This increases the successful projects while lowering cost and frustration, and it grows individual ability and team spirit. So, by using simple KPIs for the team, are we precluded from managing to broader measures? Absolutely not. Let's consider a launch project that has 6 measures we want to track. Let's divide each of those measures by who in the organization takes the lead with that measure and what cadence they're looked at. Now, our simple KPIs will be in the bottom left corner of that chart. Those are the things that the team is managing in an autonomous way, and they're doing them at a high cadence. They define success on a daily basis. A team launching a product would probably use KPIs like revenue, perhaps one leading, one lagging. The other measures can all be managed, but at higher levels, and say by the team leader or a functional lead, and probably at a lower cadence. Now, we don't ignore the broader measures, but we don't dump every measure into our set of KPIs. Instead, as leaders, we craft simple KPIs to empower the team to take action where it makes sense for them to do that, and to guide them to escalate everything else. So, do simple KPIs really work? Yes, they do. They change behavior by defining success on a daily basis. I've watched teams increase their ownership as they drive the bottleneck, and they ultimately raise their levels of success. And I've watched this over time grow leaders from within the team, and while increasing the engagement of the entire team. Simple KPIs work. They cut waste, they drive action, and they increase success. I hope you found this video useful. If you'd like to see more about how to use simple KPIs to drive action and many other topics in Lean Thinking for Knowledge Work, please see Improve, the next generation of continuous improvement for knowledge work.